Namaskaram. We have learned Python output function and now we are going to learn Python input function. Input function in Python is input. Function bracket, enter. Here you can see a blinking cursor. It is waiting for the user to input something. I have given hello. See, it is accepted. If you want to store this accepted value to a variable, you can give like this: x equal to some variable name equal to input. See here a blinking cursor. Again I am going to input hello. What is the value of x? We will see hello. That is, the value inputted by the user is accepted by the function input and that value is stored in x. See this program. My aim is to accept the name of the user and print it. Execute it. I can see only a blinking cursor here. Here I am the programmer as well as the user. So I know what to input. I have inputted a name, it displayed hi, that name. But it may not be the case always. The programmers and users may not be the same. Then how users can understand what they have to input? For that you can give a string inside the input statement to give some instruction to the user. Enter your name. Execute it. Enter your name. Now the users can understand what they have to input. Here I have to input my name. See this program, I have given n equal to input, enter a number. Then print type of n. Display the data type of the variable n. Execute it. Enter a number. I have inputted 5. What is the data type of that value? It is a string. That is, the input function will accept a value and return that value in the form of a string. So a string is stored in n. Next, I am going to write a program to find the sum of two numbers. For that, first I have to accept that two values from the user. My first number I am going to store in num1 equal to input first num, num2 my second number, input second number. Next I am going to use a third variable s to store the sum of these two numbers. The sum of num1 and num2 will be stored in s. Then at last print the sum. Sum equal to s. I am going to execute it. First num 5, second num 3. What output we are expecting? 8. Is it 8? No. I got 53. Why it happened so? We know the input statement will return a string. That is, the first number, that is 5, is stored in num1 in the form of a string. Similarly, second number 3 is stored in num2 in the form of a string. Then num1 plus num2, that is string concatenation is done there. And the result is stored in s. At last print statement. That is why I got 53 when I printed. And if you want to convert these inputted values into numbers, if you want to convert it into integer, you can use int of input. Next statement also int of input. See my result. First number 5, second number 3. I got 8 as the result. So using int function you can convert a value into integer. Then if you want to input two float values, you can give float here, float of. The inputted string will convert into float. See the result. First number 4.5, second number 3, sum equal to 7.5. See here my second number is 3, that is an integer value. Here I have given float of. That means even if you are told to input a float value, you can input integer as well as float value. Python will automatically convert this into a float value and give you the float result. What will happen if you give one value as the float and one value as the integer? What will be the data type of S? One float value and one integer. I will show you. Print type of S. First num, this is a floating point number. I have given 4.5. Second number 2. What is the data type of S? It is float. That is the resultant data type is higher data type. Here float is the higher data type. If a float value and an integer are there, it will convert into a float value. So there are two types of type conversions. One is automatic type conversion. Second one is typecasting or explicit type conversion. I will show you a simple example for that. First one, automatic type conversion. That is when we use two different data types in an expression, it will convert into higher data type. It is automatic type conversion. Our interpreter is doing this conversion. Integer plus float. An integer value plus float will convert into a float value. Next is typecasting or explicit type conversion. Int of 3.5. The result is an integer. Here the programmer is giving an instruction to convert this number into integer. That is why the name explicit type conversion. It is not an automatic type conversion. It is done by the programmer only through programming. Int of 5. The string 5 is converted into integer. Float of 4.0, that is converted into a floating point number. So if the conversion is done by the programmer through some instructions or some functions, it is called explicit type conversion or typecasting. Otherwise it is called automatic type conversion. It is done by the interpreter itself. Next we will see another method to convert this inputted string into a particular data type. The function for that is eval. Eval input first number, eval input second number. Here I am going to print data type of num1 and num2, type of num1, print type of num2. First number 8, second number 2.5. See, my first number is an integer, so it is converted into integer by the eval function. And my second number is a floating point number, so it is converted into a floating point number by the eval function. So type of num1 is integer and type of num2 is float. We will see some more example using eval function. Eval within quotes 4 plus 5. It will evaluate the expression and gives the result. But the eval function takes only a string as its argument. See, if I give eval 4 plus 5, it will show an error. Eval 5, it will not evaluate, it will show error. But if you give eval within quotes 6, it will evaluate. So the argument of an eval function is a string. Next is about this first statement. Hash program to find the sum of two numbers. You might have noticed there is no role for this statement in execution. It is called a comment. So comments are the statements that are ignored by the Python interpreter. Then what is the purpose of these comments? They are used for self-documentation. That means if you want to give some information about your codes or your statements, you can give a note on that. Here itself you can see it gives the purpose of this program to find the sum of two numbers. See, here I used hash symbol at the beginning. So if you put a hash before any statement or any sentence, it will become a comment. See, hash. This statement will not be executed. These are called single line comments. That is, this comment lies in a single line. I can put a comment here also. Hash for finding sum. And there is one more type of comment. It is multi-line comment. See here, triple quotes. That is, if your comment lies in more than one line, you can use triple quotes for that. Triple quotes at the beginning and at the end. If one more line is there, you can give like this. So comments are statements that are ignored by the Python interpreter. And these comments makes our program more readable and understandable. That is, anybody can understand my program and the intention of each code. So we have learned input function, type conversion, and also comments. In our next class, we will see some more example programs. Thank you.